All right, all. But first, coffee. So, I don't know about you, but I tend to have so many thoughts at night while I'm in bed or in the morning. And as a creator, my first instinct is like, I want to get this to my group. I want to get this to my guys because it's to me an important message and maybe it will resonate with someone out there. And so one big thing though, as a creator, is I'm always like, oh my God, I gotta get my makeup done, my hair. And it always stops me from putting things out because there's an element of like, oh, I gotta get myself. And in my healing journey, I have found that I've let that go tremendously. And with this group, to me, the message is more important than the visual. Because the things that I'm learning and the things that I'm finding, just from my past years of teaching and all of that, but now in this new chapter of life, it's more important to me that I'm like, oh wait, the morning phase, we all have them. Morning hair, we all have them. And mine's going even crazier because I'm just letting it go because I used to have really long hair prior to everything. And I'm like, I'm just letting it go. But that being said, I was sitting there and I've been reading this book called The Metabolic Approach to Cancer. And there is one chapter in it that really struck me, not only personally, but also for a lot of artists that I've worked with. And it was talking about the correlation between our emotions and disease, like, well, I say disease or disease. And it was talking about the certain personality that wanting to please others, needing approval, internalizing toxic emotions or poorly defined boundaries, or just some of the things there. But it struck me in the correlation that they found with that in cancer or other things. It made me think about artists, right? How often, I know I've been there, and I know I've worked with hundreds of artists. This is so true to them. They're trying to get the approval from their family, their friends, those around them. They feel it inside of them. Like, art is just something, I think when you have that, it doesn't go away. I just had someone shoot me up that I've known as an artist who's super talented, who hit me up that was like, it doesn't ever go away, does it? And they were looking to get back into things. And I think that's just an important thing. It's part of your core of who you are. So when you're sitting there and you're trying so hard, I think as humans, we just try to get approval from others, and especially as artists.
I have a chicken.
We're trying to get approval from others. And so because of our art, like, we want to share that with people. Most people have a desire as artists to help others, to inspire others, to make people feel, right? So a part of what we do is seeking approval of others, right? We want people to like us because we want people to want to listen to our art or listen to our messages. And so that becomes such a fine line, right? It becomes such a fine line because we're in constant seeking of approval of others. But I'm not saying that we have to give up wanting to get that message to people. But I think it's so important to understand that we have to not do it as a detriment to ourselves, as like, okay, I need to, or like monkey see, monkey do. I should have a song like that. It's like, but like, we see a lot of people too that they hold success. So I'm going to dress a certain way because I see, in a female realm, like, oh, these females all dress this way, so now I'm going to do that. When inherently it's not really who I am or what I'm about, right? Or in talking about this, I guess people as general, right? Or, oh, they talk about these things, so I'm going to write all about these things because it seems to be something that is a hit with other, or it seems to be a hit with people. And I'm not saying at times that you're not inspired by things, you're not trying those different exercises to test yourself and so forth, but if it becomes a point where you find, wait a second, I don't know if I'm being who I am. Like, is this who I am? I'm seeking approval of others and I'm getting down because others won't give it to me. Because most of the time, especially in the art world, I just see it over and over, and I've experienced it over and over. I've had so many different things said to me. And I just don't know if you're gonna get it. Like, seeking approval of those around you, they don't always see it. They see things in maybe their profession, in their realm, and that's important to them. But I don't know that they really can visualize the whole thing like you can. And so it sets up for this constant battle internally of like, should I be doing, on top of it, society, where, you know, go to college, do this, do that, create the job, have the family, those kinds of things. And that's all wonderful if it's part of your core and your purpose and who you are. And there's nothing wrong in doing a combination of things, but it puts another pressure on people, a layer of things where they're like, if it's not, they're not going that exact route, then it can cause internal stress. And so I just really wanted to get that to you all, because I think as we go into the new year, something I'm approaching too is like, hey, wait a second, like, am I doing that on certain levels, and how can I release that and still, you know, help others and be with others and do all this stuff, but not at a detriment that is maybe not parts of who I am or whatever it may be on that end. So that's what I would share with you all this fabulous morning is, you know, figuring out ways and again, maybe the people you're around, maybe sometimes too, I started to understand who around me I can open up with things about what I'm doing with my artistry. And those who just, you know, like, you might be so excited about it and they just might be like, you're like, oh my God, I got this new song, and I wrote this new song, and, or I'm going to be performing at this place, or I'm taking this class and it's so amazing and I'm learning so much, and oh my God. And this person's like, oh, cool, yeah, that's cool. Your singing thing, that's really cool, yeah. So what are you going to do for a plan B? Oh, yeah, that's sad. But anyway, so you're going to get that, and it can just crush your soul. And I'm a big advocate of doing a search around you and just seeking those, not that you're just going to get their approval and it's going to be like a false approval, like, oh, wonderful, great, da, 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 like, but like those genuine souls who really are going to support you in this journey as you pursue it, and not devalue or invalidate what you're doing. And so, yeah, that was just kind of my morning coffee, brain going and being like, oh my God, I need to, you know, the authentic point there, the point that to hold on to who you are and be true to who you are, and don't be afraid of that. It is liberating and it is beautiful, and the world needs that. The world really, really, really does need that. You'll be better off, and those around you, whether they know it or not, will be as well. All right, go have a fabulous rest of the week.